And I am live.
We are live, everybody. Welcome. We'll just clean the vibration of the air. Yes, that was nice. Welcome to all. All right. Let us see. Zara, how you going? You're the first person to arrive today. How you going? I hope you've had a great day. Joe Mendez, how you going? Welcome. I hope you also have had a good day. My day has been busy. No, I'm not British. I'm actually Australian. I reside from Melbourne, Australia. Okay. Well, you are all very welcome, everyone that has arrived and jumped on board. Sammy, how you going? It's good to see a lot of people jumping on. Looking for something to have a listen to, and that's what I do. I talk about life, the universe, and everything. So I'm open to all discussions. It's very much about, for me, trying to help everyone to, put some more positive in your life. Turn things around. Basically, take the time to analyze your lives a little bit and take ownership of them. Because I'm here to say to you all that if you take a bit of ownership about your life and you want to transform things to the better, you actually have the ability to do it. But many of us don't believe that. Many of us don't look at life that closely, right? There's a lot of people out there in this world that believe very similar to myself. I mean, they're probably not going to go spruiking away and expressing themselves in the way I do about it, but there's a lot of people that believe that what they put out is what they get back, and that we all actually do create our own lives. We create our own reality as such. And it's a metaphysical understanding. For those who want to Google what metaphysics is, you certainly can do that. Angie, how you going? I hope you've been having a good day. Nat, I love the crikey. I'm not a crikey guy, but good day to you. Look, I know we're all coming from different parts of the world. You're all welcome. Really, I want to give you, for those who have not listened to me before, I started doing lives a couple of months ago. I'd been posting a lot of the videos, a lot of ideas about how I see certain things in life. So you can certainly check through some of my long form videos and look at some of the shorts and just comments that I make on a regular basis. But they're there on my YouTube channel just to try and encourage everyone to Mount Everest. I certainly have not. That is one hell of a climb. Only a few individuals might attempt that one. Billy, how you going? How do you stay drunk on Australia? I've been in Australia for 56 years, my friends. And basically, it's always been a great country. You know, there's always individuals. Azzy, how you going? There's always individuals in every country that are trying to, you know, control the masses and, you know, get what they can out of trying to control everyone and get their piece of the pie. But, you know, most people in Australia are very down to earth, very caring individuals, and they just want to live a happy, fun life. And I think, how's the temperature there? It's bloody, well, yesterday was bloody hot, right? I mean, here in Melbourne, we hit a ridiculous, there were temperatures up towards 49 degrees Celsius, which is bloody hot. Like, you're inside an oven at that stage. And there are some fires still burning in some of the forests, fair way away from the main capital. But I'm in the suburbs. I'm around Melbourne, the capital, Melbourne. Mate, there are every type of person everywhere around the world. We are a capital city. There's around 6 million of us that reside in Melbourne, and we have every race and sex you could possibly imagine, and they're all fantastic. As far as I'm concerned, everyone's fantastic. We're all doing the best we can, right? And booze, you lose. Well, you know, sometimes I like to have a beer. You know, in Australia, we like to have a beer. I'm personally a very partial to a little bit of bourbon, like the old American bourbons. Very nice to sit on a day after a long day, to sit there and have a little quiet snifter of bourbon. Ryan Burrows, how you going, buddy? Look, like I was saying, guys, the way I see life is pretty simple. What you put out's what you get back. And I've spent my life investigating a lot of things around what affects what and what things we can do to change things for the better, and do our thoughts and our own comments actually change anything in our lives. I would be an individual that says to you all, yes. And because of that fact, I really try and be a glass half full person all the time these days. What I put out is basically creating the reflection that's around me. Basically, you want to be really careful of how you talk, because what you're putting out there, you're creating in your own world, and that's what's being reflected back to you. And that's something that we talk about. That's something that I talk about. And it is really, for me, I've learned a lot of these things, so I'm speaking my truth, right? You guys, I want you to be the unique individuals that you are. I want you to, you know, no, this is not a platform to make money, my friend. This is, I want you guys to basically know that you can take what you like out of what I say and you chuck out what you don't like. It's not about believing everything I say categorically. I hope there are things that I say that you can use to solve different issues in your own lives, right? Like, if I say something that makes sense to you and it just sits with you, take it, use it, improve your own life. Fantastic, great. I'm here expressing my truth, right? I'm very much in the mode or mindset now that, you know, people have to step up and be brave. People have to be the true, authentic person that you are. What do you love to do? What are the things that make you tick as an individual? One of my passions is public speaking. Now, so many people are fearful of that. I have no drama with it. Like, I will talk and talk and talk, especially if I'm into a subject and I have a lot of knowledge from my own perspective. You know, I can talk about that, right? So basically, I'm here expressing my truth about life, okay? And I'm happy to be open, and I'm happy to be, you know, here if someone has a question about things that are going on in their own life. If you ever want to post a question that's separate to my lives and you want to just whack it on a video there so I can type the answer and give you my perspective, feel free. Basically, I believe that to change the world for the better, or to change ourselves for the better, is about trusting who you are, right? Connecting with your unique self, right? Because we're all unique. We're all unique sparks of vibration of existence. I think we're all a part of the all that is. Hey, Money Mojo, how you going? Welcome aboard. And it's embracing that, right? What is society trying to do all the time with online stuff and all that? They're all saying, hey, be like this so that everyone accepts you, and wear this because this is what everyone's into. And, you know, you're basically doing stuff on a regular basis for everyone else so that they will like you more. My opinion of it all is that no. Connect with what you get excited about. Do the things in your life that you want to do for you. If you're listening to your heart, right? If you're listening to things that you've always felt that that's my passion, why aren't you going after them? I hope that you already are. I hope everyone's already going after the things that they love in life. I hope you know what you enjoy and you do it as much as you can. But if you're not, you need to wake up a little bit to yourself and say, hey, I'm living this life. Why am I at least not going after the things that bring me the greatest joy, right? Why am I not waking up here and going after that stuff? Because again, I go back to the creating your own reality. If you create your own reality and you want it, and your subconscious mind is always projecting out what you ask it for. So if you are doing things that you hate, what do you think your subconscious mind keeps creating? Things that you hate. If you are doing things that you love to do, it starts getting that message and it says, oh, you want to do things that make you feel good. Okay, here's some more things. Here's some more opportunities. Here's some more stuff to create along those lines. We're living in a physical world that is like a simulation though. So the way I look at it is that we've created this world, but it's changeable. So when you realize to yourself that I want to do this more than this, you can choose that direction, but you do it through your actions. Because when you act and you go after that and you start to do that hobby that you feel excited to do, you are sending the message to your subconscious that I want more of this. And you start to attract more of that into your life. What's that on my shirt? Oh, it's just an old surfer shirt, mate. It's an old surfer's, whatever it is, no big deal. So you want to attract things into your life that align with what you're into. Have you ever heard the phrase, you know, if you do things that you love, if you do a job that you love, you never work a day in your life? Coffee, everyone. It's very bloody true, right? It's because your vibration lifts when you do things that you love, right? When you're doing things that make you feel awesome, right? Your vibration lifts. When your vibration lifts, you don't feel like you're using any energy because your energy, the vibrational lift is a higher level of energy that you are drawing into yourself. So it's making you excited and happy and up and about, right? So you want to feel like that. If you want to feel energized, do things. Oh, it's one of my little crystals. Do things. Just a bit of clear quartz there. Anea. I love Anea Sienna. There you go. I love natural stones. That's a real natural clear quartz point with quite a few inclusions in there. But I've had this one for quite a while. It's a beautiful, beautiful stone. Sometimes I just like to hold it. You know, there you go. Oh, that's okay. Do the best you can. I probably should look at, I don't know if I can put captions up here. Can I put captions up here while I'm talking? Maybe I can, maybe I can't. I don't want to freak things out, so I'll leave it as it is. So when we do the things that bring us the greatest joy as an individual, because we all have individual things that we love to do, right, that are personally, well, welcome to you, Anea, right? You are very welcome here. And I mean, we're all the same from everywhere around the world. We're all human beings. We're all living this great life. And I say it's a great life because it's a life of experience, right? We learn different experiences coming into this world as different human beings. Like I'm experiencing this life as Craig, who grew up in Melbourne, Australia, and Anea, you're over in Iraq and you've experienced the life from there. But we're all the same. We've chosen what humans we've come into this life to be, to have an experience from that human being. but we all come from the same place, and we're all going to go back to the same place. So everyone, as far as I'm concerned, should be treated like they're your brothers and sisters across the board, you know. And unfortunately, that's not something that happens around the world, right? There's too much anger and hate and frustration with people. And, you know, I just like people to treat each other like they'd like to be treated, you know. And if we did that, then I think our world would be a much, much better place across the board. But that's a big ask at the moment, right? There's a lot of things going on around the planet. So let's just keep our fingers crossed that things can somehow turn. But I'm all for the individual trying to improve himself, because the one thing you can change in this life is yourself. I believe that. You can make a difference. You can be the person in your family group that actually does the things that they love doing, shines your light more. You be the best version of yourself you can be, and aspire other people to be the best versions of themselves they can be, because they see you through your actions. You know, it's the old comment that if you have a pond and you drop a little stone into a pond, it ripples out many hundreds of times from that one person diving into the pond. So one person can make a difference. Well, Briggs, those things are fun for a short time. If you go on for a long time, they can become issues, right? But obviously a person has to decide with what levels of things they do, right? Luna, how are you going? Good to see you. Wise, what's up to you, my friend? And yeah, Gabriel, on the money, can be a negative difference, correct. Short-term pleasure. Yep. So what I'm talking about, when you do things, so, you know, drugs and alcohol gives us a bit of a fake high, right? Basically, it lifts us up for a bit, or it blocks away a lot of the down feelings you might be having for a short time and makes you feel good. I'm saying to you, if you guys can grasp the aspects of what I'm putting on here, if you do things that you really enjoy doing, let's say you love mountain climbing, let's say you love bushwalking, let's say you love, you know, going up in a plane and flying in planes, whatever that gives you that feeling of, wow, I feel alive. If you did that on a daily basis, you don't need drugs. Your vibration, which is what drugs do basically not all the time, they do it for a short time. If you lift your vibration by doing things that you're into, yeah, you keep your vibe high. So you don't need the drugs. You're up here, right? So it's about having a close look at yourself. Most people blame life and they look outside themselves for an answer to make themselves feel better. My advice to all of you is, hey, quiet your mind, sit, and the answer's inside yourself. It's in your heart. It's not an answer that, you know, you're going to get from anyone else. You're not going to get the answer from me. You're basically just, most people are looking in the wrong place. You know, you came into this world by yourself. Think about it logically for a minute. You came into this world by yourself. You're living this life by yourself, and you'll leave by yourself. Now, the most important person in this world to you should be you. And I'm not saying that from an ego point of view. I'm saying that from a self-worth and self-love and respect. When you connect with your authentic self, when you look yourself in the mirror, the only person that knows if you're lying about what you're doing or not is you. There's no one else that's ever going to judge you. You are the individual that should be taking ownership of how you act, right? You act really bad and shit goes down and you know, all stuff, hell breaks loose in your life. You got no one to blame but yourself, because you knew what you were doing, right? It's the same as, it's easy for people to take ownership of the good things that happen in their life, right? Oh yeah, I created that. That was great. I won that bit of money, or whatever it was, or I got this great job. But it's really hard for people to take ownership of the bad stuff that's happened in their life, right? The reality of life is that, from my point of view, again, the reality of life is when you look at the stuff that's happens and it's bad at a time, and you go down the track and you look back as an older person, maybe it's something that happened when you were younger, a lot of the time you're basically, that negative or that bad time looks very different when you look at it from a different part of yourself or a different timeline. When you look back, it's a lot easier to let it go. That's what I'm trying to say. So, when you have something happen to you and it's like shit and you don't have any control over it, so it happens when you're younger, an adolescent, whatever, someone's abusive, whatever it might be, you often bottle that stuff and it becomes blocked energy, right, in your life. And that can, if not dealt with or let go of, that can manifest into physical issues. It's easy for us to experience a good thing and then we let it go because it was a good thing. But when it was a bad thing, we tend to hang on to it. We need to learn to actually say, okay, that happened. I can accept that happened. Let's look at it and now let it go. Because you don't allow yourself to keep the flow of energy happening in your life. Your life is about flow. We are beings of change. We change every millisecond of every day we exist. How do I know this? We're getting older. Every millisecond, our bodies deteriorate. It's another aspect to showing us that this is not a permanent place of residence. This is a bit of a simulation, if you want to look at it like that, where we can change our reality, but our body also automatically is manifesting itself getting older because of the beliefs that have been put upon us in this reality, right? Because if you believe what the whole world believes, that you're a human being and at some point you will get to a certain age and you will pass away, then that's what you're creating here. Your beliefs actually control everything that goes on. I wasn't on last night, mate. I haven't been on for a couple of nights, had a couple of nights off, so I don't know what you're talking about, Danny boy. And on Grindr, I'm an on Grindr, my friend. But attitude's everything. Attitude's everything, right? You wanna know whether you create your own reality or not. You can test this stuff for yourself. Thanks, Mr. Nobody. You can test this stuff for yourself, right? When you put out a positive comment, right? When you basically put out a positive comment to others, you often will find that will come back in spades. If you are really positive to that individual, basically then that individual feels that higher vibration. Like, thank you so much for delivering this to me. Really appreciate you brought it up to the door. Oh, no worries. That's great. Thank you very much. I appreciate you too. It comes back to you because you basically attract the same vibration you put out, right? You create what you put out. You prove these things to yourself every day. Another way of looking at life and realizing that you create your own reality. Have you ever had a goal that you've tried to achieve, right? Basically, every goal that you have achieved in your life, small, medium sized, big, if you achieve any small goal, if you go after a budget or you go after a PB in a race or whatever and you achieve it, you are proving that you create your own reality because you've changed from being able to do this to a new version of yourself, right? Life is change. You hear a lot of people say, oh, I hate change, I don't want to change, don't want to change. They're fighting against what our lives are. We come here to embrace change so that we can experience more. If we stayed in one position as the same person and not letting anything else into our lives, and that's all we were, a permanent in one position person, we wouldn't learn anything, right? It's about allowing yourself to understand that it's okay to change. Each change that you go through, now you go through changes constantly every day, but each change that you go through allows you to have a different vision of every situation. And that's okay, Kingish, right? Because what I'm doing is I'm doing it for me, right? I'm expressing my truth, right? If there are individuals that genuinely get something out of what I'm talking about, great. If so many others don't get it, they don't get it. right? And those individuals will probably move on, and that's not what it's about. I basically just want you guys to see someone that's been brave in expressing what they believe for everyone to use and take advantage of in the way that you see fit. I mean, you know, as a society, I'm going to change my tact here with what I talk about a little bit tonight. As a society, we've all given our power away to governments, right? We've all given our power away. We don't make those decisions. We give it to the government of the country, and we say, you do it, you decide, right? And then they do whatever they want because we've voted them in. But then they're not accountable because during their term, they can do whatever they want. They don't vote again whether we like this particular individual thing or not. We basically let small groups of individuals control the masses. That's what isn't right about our world. Because if you had a government or a people that were overseeing, but it was all everyone putting their opinion about what they're doing, it'd be a different sense, right? But hey, Bilch, how you going? Or Bills, you know, it's we need to take our ownership of our lives back, right? And that is done on an individual basis. Hey, Fred, how you going, mate? I know I didn't get there, mate. I'm really apologetic for that, but you know, life goes on, doesn't it? I hope you met other people. I'm sure you did. You're a positive, upbeat guy, so I appreciate you. But I had to get ready for my next live. You know, I had things to do, and you know that's part of it, right? But I know that I'm really comfortable in my own skin about my life, that what I think and what I do sits with me really well. And so I'm expressing that. And if other people connect with me, not everyone's going to connect with me. Geez, I don't expect that, right? But if other people connect with some of the things that I'm saying, great. Then I've helped someone. I've helped someone help themselves. I'm not here to be looked upon as solving people's problems. The only person that can solve any of your problems is you. That's the message, right? I've spent probably since in my early 20s when I first realized that, hey, there was another way to look at life, that people do create what goes on in their own lives. I've spent the last 35 years looking into this stuff and talking with different people and having different experiences, and it's about finding who you are and being that you, being the best version of you can be. There's no place you've got to get to. I'm just going to tell you, there's no level of, oh, I've made it, someone's going to give me a ticket for being the greatest human being in existence. No. Life goes on. Life is eternal. We are already eternal. We're immortal. We already are. That's what I believe. We basically enjoy life. We see ourselves from different perspectives. We have different experiences, and we grow and expand upon what we experience, right? It does, Kingish. It does. It's all about you, mate. You're on the ball, mate. You're on the ball. You're one of my family. I can feel it, right? You're someone that actually is getting it. Now, I don't expect everyone to get it, Kingish, right? I don't, right? But I hope that through me expressing my feelings, right, and the way I look at it, is it. Hang on one second. Wednesday night, you don't normally get as many trolls on a Wednesday night, but there was another one, so we'll just remove that. Oh, look. And another one, he's back again. I'm sorry, but that type of stuff is, if you're going to come here just to post crap, bugger off. I'm not interested in you. We're here to have an honest conversation. And this person keeps coming back. How can I do that? Sorry, I'm just talking to someone else. He keeps, yeah. All right. Sorry, guys. We're just having a bit of a thing going on here where we're trying to sort that. Time out. I don't know. It's been a real pain in the bum. Yeah, there's a timeout button. Finish. I'll see if he comes back again. Yeah, okay, we'll do that. Timeout. Let's go. See you later. That should work this time. There we go. Sorry about that, everyone. How can he do that? He's a hacker or something. Yeah. Hey, how about you bugger off, Aussie? How about you bugger off? Yeah. Hey, Wisdom, how you going? We are all good. Just getting rid of a constant scrolling of someone. That's all right. Hopefully he has left the building. Look, guys, back on track. My apologies there. The life is about taking the ownership yourself. I mean, I think a lot of people take, Ruxus. I think a lot of people take the easy route where they put the ownership on something else that's in charge of their life and they don't want to think about it. And they just go, oh no, that's too big. That's too much. Must be a God or must be something else out there that makes this happen because, well, life's too crazy to understand it. But if we're a part of this world, so let's look at it logically because that's how I look at a lot of things because unbeknownst to a lot of people, I am highly skeptical, all right? But when you look at life, we're a part of this planet. We live on it. We eat the food. We breathe the air from the planet that gets created by the planet. We're a part of the ecosystem. We're a part of the all that is. We're a part of it all. So should we not be equal to everything? Should we not be able to basically create what's going on? I mean, everything else in this world everything's connected. I guess that's where I'm going with that, all right? Everything's connected, and finding out who you are is about connecting with you, because it's not about looking at other things to say, hey, my answer for life's out there. No, it's about bringing forward. See, okay, I'm going to change tack, and my mind's going a bit all over the place at the moment. When you project, when your life is created in front of you, if you understand that this is the reflection of what's happening inside you, or what's going on within yourself, you can instantly get a reflection of where you're at, right? So how's life all going? If you've got a situation that comes up in your life and it's a little bit out of control, and say people aren't happy, and makes me look shorter, you reckon? Well, Chief, I am 6'4", so a little bit shorter ain't gonna hurt me, right? I've had them since I was 18 too, mate. So as we analyze what's going on out there, that's how you get that reflection upon yourself. So if things are a bit of turmoil going on outside your world, or coming into your reality as such, say people arguing, whatever, there's something going on inside you that reflects that. You are trying to tell yourself, or your subconscious is trying to tell yourself, there's some arguing going on in you because two people in front of you are arguing, and then you're being drawn into this situation, just saying it as an example. So that's when you understand that what you're putting out is from what's coming on inside, then you can look outside yourself and analyze what's going on. And that gives you the greatest reflection about what's going on inside yourself. And then you get an opportunity, whether you are happy with going on and believing whatever you believe that creates those situations. You can certainly change anything that you want to change, right? Hey, Loads, how you going, mate? I'm talking about life, the universe, and everything, and that each person creates what happens to them. That is the general crux of it, All right. So if you're half interested in that, mate, hang out, have a listen. Otherwise, no dramas, mate. It's good that you jumped on for a sec. The so basically, you know, we're trying, like as individuals, I believe we are trying to work out on a subconscious level. We're trying to become more conscious of what we're doing and what we're creating, right? When your subconscious mind will actually create what your beliefs are, what you believed in yourself, that will constantly create that. When you realize that you believe these negative things inside yourself, and then you see these negative situations happening and you connect the two, basically that's another way you kind of start to confirm how you can actually change yourself for the better, right? Well, Red, if you don't like what I'm saying, you're free to move on. No dramas at all. I'm having an honest conversation about how I see life, and that is it, right? So I'm sure there are plenty of other stations and lives that are talking something more relevant to yourself. So she's all sweet. Right, so getting down to the crux of how we can transform ourselves for the better is analysing yourself, all right? I'm a big believer that people should take five minutes a day and analyse their days, right? Analyse their days. So you go through your day and you have experiences and you have reactions to different things. Why would you not have a look and judge how you're going, right? The only person that's actually going to work on you or can work on you is you. So you have to try and work on the reflection of how you're responding to certain things. And when you do it on a daily basis, when you spend 5 minutes just thinking about how you've been through the day, it actually gives you that direct connection with, oh, geez, I did speak badly to Joe in the office because he said that. Why would I respond to that? So basically it's, don't understand those terms, to be honest, loads. Bipartisan, yeah, I get that. When you analyse how you've reacted, that often connects with or brings up some belief in you to why you reacted to a certain comment that was made outside yourself. See, when we come into this world, we come into this world as babies, right? Perfect little babies. And no worries, Fred, thanks, mate. Perfect little babies, and we don't have anything. We're like a brand new computer. There's nothing programmed on us, right? So basically, as we go through our childhood and then into adolescence, every single person that is involved in our lives programs all their opinions onto themselves, right? They put their own opinions onto that baby. Don't do this, don't do that, be like this, don't touch that, da 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 da. And the baby suddenly starts to get limitations and beliefs from other people. Yeah, please, easier questions, mate. I'm not a rocket scientist. I'm just kidding, loads, all right? So basically when we get programmed, we don't realise we're getting programmed because we're young. We just think everything that everyone's saying has to be the truth, and we absorb it like a sponge. But you might have an auntie that's heavily racist, right? You might. And when you're a little kid, she was like abusive about other races, etc. And as a baby, you absorb that. But as you became an adult and then a certain situation would trigger a memory of your auntie being like that, you suddenly responded without even thinking. It's her belief that's been absorbed or taken on by you. You get a choice whether you want to keep acting or reacting like that. Do you want to acknowledge that was there and let it go? The way you change your belief is to acknowledge it. Just acknowledge it exists. I don't want to think like that anymore. That's not me. And then it's gone. Then you can replace it with something more positive, right? That's right, Kingish. Like where we work through the programmings of everyone that's dumped all their limiting negative thoughts and feelings onto us as human beings until we get to a point where we realize, hey, you know, can I do anything about this? Can I change who I am? And that's where metaphysics really awoke me, right? That I became a strong believer in my thoughts and my way of being or my way of thinking. I could actually become better. I could change myself for the better. Yeah, well, religion's very limited, Loads. I try not to dive into that because I'm not a religious person. I do understand religious connotations, but religion basically generally puts on, if you don't do what we say, if you don't believe what we say, then you might go to hell if you don't give your power to Jesus or Buddha or whatever. And there's negative connotations to try and force you into their belief, and that just doesn't sit right with me, right? So I think anything in life, if someone is trying to say, do this or bad stuff will happen, that's a red flag, guys. You know, you want to be the person that is allowed to be in charge. Yeah, it is, mate. It's a very bad recipe. You want to be the person that's in charge of your life, right? I'm 100% in agreement, right? Everyone should have the right to know that you can change your life for the better, right? It's not up to anyone else. If you want, it doesn't actually matter where you get to in life, right? If you want to sit around drinking beers all day until you cross over, you can. No one has the right to tell you that you can't. If you're not out there if you're not hurting anyone else, and you want to live your life in your way, go for it. I think, you know, there's a part of everyone that understands when you quietly sit with yourself and you think about, is what's going on in my life? What am I doing? Why is this important? We came here for a reason. Now, I don't know the reason that every individual came here. I don't know that at all. I don't even really fully understand at this point in my life the reason I came here. I have a general feeling that, you know, hey, Malevi, how you going? I have a general understanding that I've come here to experience life from the perspective of being Craig, who's from Melbourne, Australia, and this is my perspective on life, and I'm, you know, meeting people here and growing up here and blah, 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 blah. You don't just live one life, in my opinion. You live infinite lives. I'm a full-on believer of life goes on, right? You live forever. Now, you don't have to believe this, or you don't have to believe what I'm about to tell you, but I've been out of my physical body, separated from it twice in my life, all right? So I've seen my energy, arm and body vibrating blue, right? And the energy that I felt and the aliveness that I felt when I was separate, there's nothing like it. There's nothing like it. Now, if you don't believe that, that's fine. If you've never experienced anything like that, that's fine. There is a person, and I say this regularly, there's a person called Robert Monroe, and he was one of the most well-renowned out-of-body experiences that there's probably ever been, right? 100% Loads, appreciate that. Robert Monroe wrote some books about his experiences about out-of-body travel. One of them is called Journeys Out of the Body by Robert Monroe, and his second one was Far Journeys. Robert Monroe, there is actually a university or an institute in America called the Monroe Institute, and people go there to learn how to separate and have out-of-body experiences. That's real. That exists. So you don't have to believe that. That's sweet as. But I'm telling you that I did some techniques when I was younger and had it happen twice. And then I felt like I'd proved to myself that we go on. What we go on to, your guess is as good as mine. I think it's all going to be positive. But you're in charge of your life. I believe fully we all chose to come here to have this experience, our individual experience. What you had specific reasons why you did. And I think you can actually find out what those reasons are. But that's when it comes to connecting within yourself. That's when you start to do meditation and you start to quiet yourself. Hey, Mr. Higgs, how you going? You start to quiet your mind, right? Meditation is not about sitting there for 10 hours trying to say the word Om, right? It's really just breathing and quietening your mind. Hey, Rabia, Ruby, how you going? Welcome. Basically, when you quiet your mind, you're slowing down your energy, the speed of where we are, right? Life is really fast-paced. You go and do your job. Everyone wants everything done yesterday. Flash, boom, 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 boom. When you step out of that and you quiet yourself, sitting in a quiet space for 5 minutes, and you just let the stress of the day wash away by just breathing and relaxing, that's when you start to connect with your heart. That's where I believe there's a lot of information for ourselves that's locked away there. And that is when you meditate, you join the connection between your heart and your head. And most of the time when you start meditating or just breathing, you just blank your mind out. Your mind becomes blank and you're just sitting there and you're relaxing. You're not thinking about anything. But after a number of weeks of doing it daily, you will start to find that thoughts and things will pop into your mind maybe sooner, right? You let them wash through because you want to acknowledge any thoughts that you have, but you let it wash through because the connection is starting to happen. But if you don't quieten down, if you don't quieten yourself down from the craziness of the energy on the planet right now, you can't hear yourself talking, and you're always talking to yourself, right? Inside and outside, like we were talking about earlier, when something happens in your world, you've created it, you're trying to send yourself a message about what's going on inside, right? Everything is about you. I want to tell every single one of you that's on here today, you're perfect as you are. You don't have to change a thing. You're sparks of pure vibration of existence. We are immortal. We already are. You've got the golden ticket, right? And whatever you need to tell yourself to get to that understanding, fine, but it's experience, it's understanding, it's living life, it's connecting with yourself, it's basically embracing you. I appreciate Ampas saying Allah, but I'm not a religious person. So I'm not in the place of giving my power away to any, master. And Allah and Jesus and Buddha, they're all masters that have come to show us, how to live our lives, not to bow down to them. That's where I differ, all right? I actually think that they were examples, that were trying to be examples of us becoming more of who we're supposed to be. That's where religion kind of twisted it. I respect the masters as an equal. And I'm not saying I'm a master. I'm saying that every single human being is a spark of love and light. So why would we be saying we're lesser than? When you put something on a pedestal or someone on a pedestal, you are saying you're lesser than. But again, that's my opinion. So take what you like, throw it what you don't like. I appreciate you, Ampas, for saying that. But on my YouTube page, I express my beliefs. And I always say to everyone, please take what you like, throw it what you don't like. I'm very much about, no, I do not, right? I'm very much about connecting with who I truly am and whoever that is, right? Whoever that is, I want to be the best version of that for me, okay? And I think that everyone is striving to be the best version of themselves. And if they're not, have a close look at yourself. Try and connect with yourself about why you're here. You've come here for a reason. You're living this life for a bigger reason than you realize. Connect with who you are. Do the best you can. Be the best example to everyone that you care about around you that you can. That's it. I'm not religious. Yes, everyone. No, I'm not. I'm not religious. I would put myself in the category of metaphysician. So I'm into metaphysics. The art or the understanding that each person creates what goes on in their life. I believe that we're part of the all that is. God, Goddess, all that is, if you like. But there is no title to that. There is no name to that. It's like the trees and the river and the planet and the people and the stars. Everything is connected. If you want to spend the time to connect with yourself inside, you start to connect with the whole creation, right? That's how I see things, guys. So, I'm not here to say that you can't believe what makes you comfortable. Everyone has their own pocket, right? I'm here to be the best version of myself I can be. So that's it. There's no more to it, right? 2 months ago, I thought, no, it's time to go live. It's time to basically just put yourself out there so that people can ask the direct questions and have the conversations. And that's something that I think more people need to do. They need to have honest looks at themselves, not listen to everyone blindly. Take what you like out of life and throw away what you don't, right? You are a unique individual. There is no one like you. Be you. Work from your heart, and then you'll want to be the best version of yourself you can be. For me, that's what life is. So that's it. Be the best version of you, right? There's nothing more to it. There is nothing more to it. Now, I always say this through my lives, but if you like what I talk about, and like a few of those, my friend Mr. Blogs, and make sure you subscribe, because then you'll know, or hit your notification button so you know when I come on, because I try and come on weekly, but Mondays and Tuesdays are pretty quiet, so I have a little bit of a break there, and I pretty much try and get on live 3 or 4 times a week. But it's really about trying to be that glass half full for you guys, trying to express, no matter what goes on, no matter what situation happens in life, it's how we react that counts. Why is it how we react? Because we create our own reality. And there are big things that are going to happen in 2026. Be glass half full. Be positive during every situation that comes along in your life. My family keeps me pretty busy, Freddie boy. I'm a busy man. But, just squeezing in these lives is like, it's a battle. I mean, I'm glad you've got time to go down to the pub, down the junction. I'm glad you've got time, right? But we need to, when situations occur, 2026 and beyond, we need to go into them. It's our year, mate. Yes, it is. Anyone that is a positive thinker, anyone that is working from their heart and being the best version of themselves they can be, you are going to have one awesome year, right? There's a wave of energy coming. Let's put it like this. Wave of energy is coming, but it's going to carry people that are working from the heart, that are being their authentic selves. Be true to yourself. Don't lie to yourself, because you can't. Be your honest you. Something else I heard actually from another channel I was listening to, and it sat with me really strongly. There's things are gonna bring up a lot of deep issues for some people, and some people have done the wrong things over their journey, right? You can let those go. As long as you're no longer doing the wrong thing going into 2026 and beyond, you're a changed person. But if you're blocking things and you're hanging on to that negative attitude, then it's going to be a very difficult year, because it's going to force that crap out all of a sudden against your will. And it's individuals that will probably have trouble if they're not willing just to go with the flow, acknowledge everything, acknowledge yourself, warts and all, everyone. All your good, all your average, all your bad, everything that you've done the best you can. When you didn't know any better and you were 20 years old and you got into a fight with a group of guys and someone got hurt, you didn't know any better. Don't beat yourself up about it anymore. Accept that you did it and let it go and move on. Because every time when you hold on to all this stuff, you are blocking up your energy. You are not allowing the positive new stuff that you're now learning to come into your life. Right? It's about flow. It's about the flow of life. Meat boy sleeping. Was that supposed to be sleeping or sleeping? Sleeping? Okay. That's right. Seeing the positive. Thank you, Kingish. Seeing the positive in a negative situation is empowering, right? Like you can change because energy is energy. How we perceive it is what it becomes to us, right? A situation can happen and three people can see it in different perspectives. You got a license for that? Don't know what you're talking about, mate. I'm an old man. What do I need a license for? So yeah, it's how you perceive everything, everyone. Arknoid, black and white. Yes, it is. Like I'm a big believer in black and white. You know, it's all or nothing. You either create all of your reality or you create nothing. Yeah, it's if you're in the grey, you're probably in struggle town, right? The grey is not a good place to be. You can't just create the good things and then someone else has done the bad things to me. That's right. You've got to take ownership of your life. So the things that happened that were bad at the time, they've taken you to where you are now. And if where you are now isn't so bad, that situation turns into a positive because you've stepped back and you've looked at the whole lot. Every situation is a learning to step you towards something more. You've always got to know that there's something better through the next door, right? Hey, Lamb Dabbling, how you going? I'm doing very well. So you can transform everything that comes along, whatever the situation. Make sure that you're reacting in the most positive way you can. And if it's emotional, it's going to be hard. If you got hit by a car, okay, yes, well, that would be a hard situation to go through, Sam. But as one example, a hypothetical, let's say, if you got hit by a car and then you found yourself in hospital and, you know, things weren't good, maybe there are other things that will happen from that actually lead you down a path that takes you to a new perspective or a new experience in life that is way better than where you were before. I don't know. But, you know, no matter what happens, I 100% believe that we all, what we put out is what comes back. And when you prove that to yourself, which I've spoken about tonight a few times, that, you know, even through the way you talk to someone, if you talk really positively to someone, that encourages, because of that connection of vibration, them to talk at the same level of vibration. If you talk like shit to someone, how often do they come back with that? Yeah, try not to follow and try not to lead. Be centered within yourself. Be the best example of you that you can be. You know, life is a lesson. But I will say this, when you connect with more of who you are, you become more than the person that you're experiencing this life as. You connect with your immortal self, that your many lives that you've lived self. You know, there's more to you than this one life, right? Life goes on, right? You can read books like Robert Monroe's Journeys Out of the Body, and really the experiences that guy had, it would be mind-blowing to think that that wasn't real. Like, it 100% was real. The Monroe Institute was created from it. And if you connect or start to try that and understand that you can separate from your physical, you've just proven that you live forever. You've just proven it to yourself. That's like people that come back from a near-death experience. They are transformed because they're no longer fearful of what will happen. They know what's going to happen. They live life to the fullest. So I'm talking about connecting with yourself to a point where you know the belief inside yourself, and that you can then start to live more fully, the more fully authentic version of you, which a lot of people are just, if I be my true self, then I'm vulnerable, then other people can hurt me. That's not true. When you live your authentic you, when you are your true self, your vibration's up here, okay? You are living at a very high vibration when you are living your true life. doing the things that you love to do, right? Doing the things that bring you the greatest joy in life, that make you feel the best you can feel. When you're up here, there's one universal law. Vibrations, like attracts like. So when you get yourself high to a high point of vibration, you can only attract other high vibrations. You can't actually attract the low negative vibrations that come along with people trying to put you down or bag you out and tall poppy syndrome, knock you off your pedestal. You won't even be hearing those comments because you'll be up here, right? You have to believe a negative comment to take it on. You have to believe it. If someone calls you a piece of da-da-da-da, piece of shit, a jerk, whatever, and dumps on you and you feel bad, there's a belief inside you that believes what's just been said to you. And that is why you created the situation for that person to say that at you, because you are in charge of what is created in front of you. Ali, welcome, right? I hope you all absorb that, because that, for me, that's it. When you, thanks, Ali. When you acknowledge that, right? When you embrace that, no one can touch you. They can't touch you, because then you realize that I'm creating what's going on here. And then I'm realizing that I don't want to feel like that. Why would I believe that I'm terrible or I'm ugly or whatever the comment was? No. I'm now going to acknowledge that, let that go. That was something from when I was a young child. Let it go. Acknowledgement of something is how you let it go. Okay, that's why I say it a lot. You have to acknowledge. So when you look at your whole self, that's why I'm saying a lot of the time, acknowledge where you are right now. See, the only thing that exists in any of our lives is now, right? Here we are living now. You're listening to Craig talk about how he sees life. We are living, hey Hogs Baffleworth, how you going? We are living in the now. So you have created your reality to this point in the now. Pat yourself on the back for who you are. You've done a bloody awesome job. Here you are in your glory, creating this reality, having these experiences, and you are surviving and thriving, and you are awesome, right? Embrace where you are. Pat yourself for getting here yourself, because you did it. And then when you fully acknowledge all the good, the bad, the ugly that's gone wrong to make you who you are, you can bring in lots more positive at a higher level. That's how it works. Hogs Baffleworth is my new financial advisor, and gold is up and silver is sitting at 164. Okay, well, gold's the go, isn't it, mate? It's rocketing along. The past, Arknoid, was the now when we were there. But the now's shifted, right, to here. So it's you that has to take ownership of your life first. You have to acknowledge and empower yourself, self-worth, self-love, self-esteem, self-control, self-power, self-empowering. You've got to take the ownership so that you bring all of your energy here, right? Balanced and centered, love yourself. Be happy with everything about you. It's not about changing anything to accept who you are. It's about embracing who you are now. If you want to then transform things or manifest different things in your reality, what you can only do it once you acknowledge who you are right now. Why do you hear so many people in the world saying, I'm grateful for you? I'm grateful for where I'm appreciative and grateful. You hear a lot of celebrities saying it all the time too, because you have to appreciate who you are now, right? And then, Sam, you can certainly ask a question. If it's a big question, you can always ask it on one of my videos on my page, and I can type back an answer later if you think it's going to take me a while. But you can certainly throw it out wherever you like, whether it's here, whether it's just under one of my videos, and I'll answer it to the best of my ability. So yes, who you are, be thankful and grateful and appreciative of who you are and that you've created yourself to this point in time. You've done it, everyone. You've done it to this point now. This is you. You exist right now. No one can take that away from you. Now, when you accept yourself fully, that is when you can then say, okay, I prefer... Okay, well, all right. I'll get back to what I'm saying. I'm just going to help you here, Sam. There was, on the purpose of life. I have a video that I did on how Craig sees life, and it was done 18 months ago, maybe. It was one of my early videos. Goes for about 22 minutes, and I talk about lots of aspects. I will say to you, go and check that out at some stage. Just have a listen. You know, it's a long time to listen to someone. I get it, but that I'm really explaining a lot of my understandings. It's a lot of chatting about that stuff. So do check out my stuff, because I'll put it out there for people to use, right? So take what you like. Remember, Sam, take what you like, chuck out what you don't like, okay? Because Craig is on his run and everyone else is on their runs, and you've got to just get the things that are right for you. You first got to understand the question. My friend Fred, that seems to come from the old Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, where they search for the answer to life, the universe, and everything. And then when they find the answer, they realise we don't know what the question is. I love that. I love that movie. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. You're going to laugh out of that if you watch that one, everyone. With Marvin the Depressed Robot. That's all I'm going to say about that. I love Marvin the Depressed Robot. I'm so depressed. It's excellent, right? Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. That's my movie one for you to watch in the future. So we embrace ourselves, right? This is where I was at. We embrace who we are. We're warts and all. You know, I'm carrying a bit extra weight. I'm, you know, getting a bit older. I'm getting a bit tired. Blah, blah, blah. I'm doing the best I can. I've raised my kids. I'm da-da-da. All these things, right? So you embrace exactly who you are now. And then you can bring in what you look at. You can bring a new vision in to look at for yourself to say, well, I'm happy with who I am now, but I would prefer to then go forward to try and achieve this. So whether that's abundance or more love in your life or whatever it might be, you will then see that version of yourself, and then you need to allow yourself to think about what things you can start to do to head down that path to become that person. See, because you can't just imagine and then it's manifested. You have to step into it. Manifesting is not about you doing any work now. You are the master of manifestation. Every single one of us is the master of our existence. And basically, we have already manifested infinite lifetimes in front of us. So there are many, many pathways to choose. Which life that you've created, all these offshoots from where you are now, which version of you do you want to be? I'll be busy that day too, mate. Sorry. Which version of yourself do you want to be? So that, and then step into that. Because when you start to do a couple of things that are going down that path, something that you really love to do, and I want more money in my life, so I'm going to create a situation where I'm actually going to bring more money in. You are sending a message from the conscious mind to the subconscious mind, and the subconscious mind gets that message through your actions. I want more abundance. I want more love. I want more happiness, right? Because you are doing things that bring you that, right? You are sending the message through your actions, right? So you think it first, but then you have to start to try and act it out. It's almost like fake it till you make it, okay? So that's just my explanation of how to transform your life for the better. But the first step is always to accept who you are. Love who you are. Be the best version of you that you can be, right? Right here, right now. And then Start to do more things that you prefer, that make you feel awesome, right? It's a conversation, and it's a connection of all this together. And that's why, I go over this regularly, because it's a big understanding. It's not because I'm wanting to help the people that maybe never have heard Zoe Premier. I'm certainly not delusional, mate. I'm someone that believes that everyone creates their own reality, and it's a metaphysical understanding. And there are millions of people out there that understand this like I do, mate. So maybe you've never heard anyone that believes this about life, but you can prove these things to yourself. And some individuals are ready to start to do it because they're not happy with where things are in their life, and other people are like, nah, that doesn't interest me at all. I go on my merry way, and that's sweet as well, mate. But this is what I'm talking about on my YouTube channel. That's what Craig's World Rocks is about. It's about talking about life, the universe, and everything, and how you can take the ownership in your life if you choose to. So they're the things I talk about. So feel free to listen, mate, or not. That is up to the individual. Boot. We call it a boot. Zara. Like a boot on your foot, but we call it a boot on the car. Yeah. Yeah, very good. Yeah. So again, I'm going to say it for everyone again. So there's three ways that, you can look at life. You can be an atheist. You can believe in nothing. That's okay. But, that's kind of not taking any, that's kind of being in the grey as far as I'm concerned with life, right? Then you've got the people that believe that there is a higher power that makes everything happen. I do hear myself, my friend. I'm expressing how I see things. So, of course, I hear myself. And I've proven these things to myself. So, again, no disrespect back, but, this is it. This is what I think. And this is my YouTube channel to talk about how I see life. So, if you don't like it, that's okay. Zoe, you can leave. That's it. No dramas. So when you take ownership, when you put out those things that you want for yourself, it is about stepping into that. It is about helping that along and seeing that message. No, mate, I cannot. It is about embracing and being that version of yourself that you want to be. People go through their life, and I've got off track here, but no, Zoe, mate, not at all, mate. I got off track with what I was saying there. Hey, Sandra, how you going? Atheists don't believe in anything. Other people believe that there's a higher power that makes everything happen to themselves in life, religion. And then there are people like myself, and there is a lot more than what most of us believe that individuals are part of the all that is, and that we are involved in creating our own reality. That's what we do. We do it all the time, but we do it unconsciously, and you can become conscious of what you are thinking and saying and doing to transform your life for the better, right? And you start to get reflections upon what's going on in your life that help you see what beliefs you're carrying and how you can transform, what you're doing in your life. So a lot of people don't think they can change nothing about their lives. That's fine. I'm here to say that I've changed many, many things through changing beliefs and thoughts and speaking in a much more glass half full attitude, and you can transform your life for the better. You can take back your power and empower your life in that way. How do you think people achieve any goal in life? They create it, right? You don't get to a new point of existence without creating it, without transforming it, believing that you're going to get there, right? You have to have belief behind changing, behind more of what you want. Well, a lot of YouTube is entertainment, but I'm talking from my personal experience, and that's what I want to do on my channel, mate. So that's just how it is, right? Like a lot of people like listening about life, the universe, and everything, and having conversations around that. And it's not for everyone, but for those that are into it, I'm one individual that's happy to talk about my experiences and things that I believe. So, you know, that's something that interests me. It's a passion to me. You know, to speak your truth is something that is important. But I definitely believe that, you know, life's important. People think that, you know, life doesn't mean anything. Some people believe that, but I believe we're living this life and we should do it to the best of our ability, right? You're raising your kids. You're trying to be a good example to the rest of your family. I'm not a religious person, but I am someone that takes life seriously, that I think that I've come here for some reason. I don't really have the answer to that in my own head at this point. I think that life is about, you know, getting the reflection. Hey, Clips, how you going? Getting the reflection on what's going on in your life, and you can decide whether you're doing good or whether you need to improve something or whatever. But, you know, it's only, Catherine, yes, it is good to see you again. You can see me, I can't see you, but it's one way, right? It's just about trying to do the best you can, right? There's people that call me Mr. Positive, mate, that just, I'm glass half full, right? Like, if you actually, let's hypothetically say that I don't know what the answer is to life, that I don't believe that I create my own reality, but if you're not sure either way, isn't it better to be positive anyway, just in case? Like, I'm not saying that you have to do something for a reason, or that you have to get somewhere in existence, you've got to do this. I mean, you're doing it because in your heart of hearts, I think everyone is good people. I think everyone's good people, and I think we want to do the best we can by our families and everyone that we're connected to. And, you know, that's predominantly what it is. I'm expressing my truth here. And I hope, and I really do hope, that others become braver about being their individual selves, right? We don't want to be a bunch of sheep, everyone. We want to be unique individual selves to ourselves, right? We want to basically do ourselves proud, right? It's not about doing it for someone else. It's not about giving about your power away, right? I mean, it is about who are you? What do you really enjoy doing in life? If you're speaking from your heart, right? What do you like doing? What's things that make you get buzzed? How about you do more of those? Because naturally your vibe lifts because you're feeling really good, right? I mean, I love public speaking. I have a drama with it. This is it's a challenge because there's like people just come on to the lives from wherever, and it's a challenge. I love it, right? Like, I'm going to talk to all types of people with all types of thought processes. But for me, it's about individuals going, you know what? We are all human. We're all living this existence. We're all doing the best that we can. So let's treat everyone as we'd treat our families and ourselves, with respect and unconditional love, and treat our neighbours like that. I mean, since COVID, everyone's just locked themselves away, right? You don't have the same connection. You don't have, you know, societies and neighbours mixing as much. Everyone's almost scared to be outside doing things all the time. We need to connect with ourselves to find our truth again as individuals, so we can connect with everyone else properly again. But I think we only do that through connecting with our individual selves, with our uniqueness, with our authentic us, right? No one is the same. As you're all different. Every single one of you is unique. Embrace that. If you're being your true self, I mean, then you're going to have the greatest life you can have if you connect with that, with who you really are. Because you are going to do things that, firstly, are just for you. The things that make you up and about, the things that are exciting to you, right? And I know that we're all doing jobs that we just have to pay the bills, and we have to do this job, and that's what does this and that for the family, right? Rugburn, how you going, brother? I'm Craig, and I'm from Melbourne, Australia. So Hunting Beach, California. You are welcome, my friend. You know, you want to be that example for people around you. You know, like everyone, like as adults, when you got kids, for example, everyone's trying to direct them in general to be the best versions, right? We're trying to control those things to help them get on the right path. I'm a big believer that your example of how you act and how you live is the best example that anyone around you can take on to then hopefully have them want to be their best version of themselves. You know, unfortunately, when you go online in general and you see all these pictures of, fake people, and you've got to dress like this, you've got to wear this makeup, and you've got to be like this to be accepted by your friends, it's very confronting, and it's telling all the young people that they have to be someone else to be accepted, because who they are right now is not good enough. That's shit. You are all good enough as you are right now. You're perfect. You know, one of my favorite things to say to everyone is, you've already got the golden ticket, right? You are living your life. You don't have to get anywhere specific. You're just going to live the existence, do it to the best of your ability, learn all the things you can learn. And, you know, you analyze yourself as you go along, and you try and improve yourself, and you try and be a more positive thinker, and you try and clear a few negative beliefs that were dumped on you as a kid. And, you know, so you're trying to become the best version of you that you can be. And then when you get to the end of your life, you know, you'll analyze your whole life and you'll rate yourself. But there's no one else. Caleb, how you going, mate? There's no one else that's going to be judging you. The only person that analyzes how you're going is you. I'd be a big believer in that. We are a part of the all that is. We're perfect. We're our individual, unique vibrations of existence. Hey, Lil, how you going? D. Herenis, how you going, bro? Hit the gritty brew. Hit the gritty. Okay, well, there you go. All right. When you do be your best version of you, you are being the biggest light, shining the brightest you can shine. That's it. It's not about following any groups. It's about you coming back to your center. You don't have to be in some group to get the golden ticket to life, right? Hey, Riz, how you going? Hey, Michael. Dance, bro, not a quote. Okay, well, you know, you got to speak English to me. I don't. I'm a simple man. But I ain't dancing, man. This isn't the place to dance. I don't know, pay like a ditty party. Oh, okay, cool. There you go. Huey, thank you very much for clarifying that. Life is so much easier to expect yourself when you're kind of, mate, that's it. See, Catherine, that is knowing that you create your own reality, because hate breeds hate. Love breeds love. Any more you need to say about it? Not really. It's, care about yourself, care about others, you're caring about yourself. So what you put out is about you. So if it's all about you and who comes into your life is a reflection of you, don't you want to then treat them to the best of your ability, because it's a reflection of you? If you act terribly in a certain situation, there is a belief in you that isn't so positive, and you might want to look at whether you want to keep that or not. And some people will go, no, I can never accept that. I'm always going to have that opinion about that particular thing. And you can keep it. You can keep it through your whole life. But you have a choice to change your beliefs for what you prefer. A higher vibrational belief is better for you than a low one, right? But some people like anarchy, some people like craziness, and some people live their whole lives never changing that. I'm just here to say that you can, right? And our friend Catherine here has basically made it very, very clear that, to me, that, what you put out's what you get back. And if you need it really simple, start there. Take control of what you say and what you think. Don't let your emotions, Zenden, how you going? But take control of those things because you can. You're not out of control. You're in control of your life. Your emotions can sometimes get the better of us and they can have us say things that we're not in control of. But your emotions can bring up the negative beliefs, right? When you act out of emotion, that's when the doors get thrown open and the truth comes out. That's an opportunity to let it go. Acknowledge that you had it there. Let it go. I don't want to act like that anymore. I want to think like this and put a much more positive thought in there. All right. You can program yourself the way you want. You have been programmed by everyone that's been in your life up to this point now. So as a child, adolescent, young adult, so on and so forth, everyone around you has put their thoughts on you and ideas, and you've accepted all the ones that you thought were right, or you've just accepted them all. But when you get to a point of understanding that you create your own reality, you can change any of those things that you want for the better, because the more positive your beliefs are, the more positive your reality becomes. The more abundance, the more love, the more joy, the more fun, the more travel, the more all the things that you prefer, the things that you want, okay? The things that you need. You're in control. You can choose how much or how little of all these things that you draw to yourself, because you do. You have to send the right message from your conscious mind where you take control of what you say, and then those things go to the subconscious mind, which creates your own reality. Everyone gets that, right? Hey, Kings, there we go. I'm not dancing, but I waved, all right? Kings on Roadblocks. Cheers, brother. Look, we are better than what we treat ourselves. You know, we, as a general group of humans and that are living on this planet, we don't actually think very highly of ourselves. There's a lot of negative around how all of us believe in who we are, right? We need to start to treat ourselves with respect and treat ourselves with love and treat ourselves with kindness ourselves, because you are the center of your world. And if you're messing up the center of your world, you need to clean up house. Oh, my friend. Hit the dance floor, mate. Then head out, party on. I mean, are you from Australia? No, I don't know if you are from Australia. I can't tell. But Dahanis, I'm from Melbourne, Australia, mate. It's Wednesday night here. Not a lot of activity. There's a few places, but not a lot of activity. But, India. Well, okay, cool. Well, you're always welcome here, mate. I think so too, Catherine. I think it's something that I've been saying tonight a couple of times during the talk. Take some time out of every day. I know it's not always easy, but 5 minutes, 10 minutes, if you can give yourself 10 minutes, great, where you just sit in a quiet room and breathe and just think about the day. Let it all wash away. You do a little breathing meditation. Just breathe to yourself, relax, let the stress wash away, and analyze your day. How did I go today? How did you go? Did you treat people the way you want to be treated? Was there any situations that, they're a bit iffy? You said something you might want to change. I mean, analyze yourself and then let it go, right? The negative energies that we hold on to are always things that have been felt bad at the time. We aren't able to accept them, right? You basically, well, if you're getting constipation, there's a lot of blockages of energy going on with you, my friend. But we need to accept everything that happens to us. We accept the good stuff really easy. We accept the neutral stuff. We don't hold on to those things. We experience them. We accept them as happening and we embrace them and we let them go. But with the negative thing that happens, or something that we perceive to be negative, we hang on to that because we don't want to accept that that happened. But the problem with it is that because we don't accept it, we're not letting it go. We need to accept it like the good stuff. So when you have any memories come up that are of situations that, you know, weren't so positive, you need to accept them. You don't have to deal with it. To let it go, you just have to accept it, okay? You don't have to deal with it because you've already been through it. Accept that it happened, let it go on, right? It's the action there. It's the acceptance. I know it happened, boom. So, yeah, guys, I'm really happy tonight. There's really a lot of new people that have popped on and had a listen. I appreciate all of you. I really do. If you like the things I talk about, always remember to subscribe so you can get back on and see me another time when I'm chatting away about life, the universe, and everything. Couple of points just to go back over. If you're interested in knowing anything about basically out-of-body traveling and proving to yourself that you do go on, that life goes on, because let me tell you, when you prove that to yourself, you are not afraid of life anymore. You live very differently. It's quite mind-blowing, all right? And I've proved that to myself. So it's one of those, gives you a lot of belief, a lot of strength, and a lot of, you know, up and about. So thanks, man. I appreciate you. So it's about proving it to yourself. And Robert Monroe is the most famous writer of out-of-body traveling or out-of-body experiences. Robert Monroe, Journeys Out of the Body. If you're a book reader, read that book. No, I have not experienced that one, Catherine. That's interesting. I was also going to say that, what was I going to say? So Robert Monroe, and there was one other thing I was going to say, and I've just lost it. But that's okay. Basically, guys, if you enjoy the chats, if you like open-minded conversations, and if you want to be the best version of yourself, please subscribe, hang out. I want to talk about things with you guys over time, so that you can find these things out for yourself, because there's not a lot of people out there giving you this type of information, I believe, around, you know, what you can read and what you can do to experience these things and prove them to yourself. Because it really does. I can see, Catherine, you've proven quite a few things to yourself, and that's great. So you want to stay in a real positive mindset, right? And keep yourself as high a vibe as you can. My advice to you, Catherine, if you're not doing it, do things that you're passionate about. Do things that you love, right? If there's something inside you, go, oh, I've always loved those type of things, but I haven't got time to really do them. Find a way to add them into your life. Opportunities manifest for you all the time. If you're doing the things that you're passionate about, then you start creating opportunities in that space where it gives you a chance to be living your passions, yeah? Whatever they are, rather than doing a lot of things in life where you're not so, your heart's not in it. You want to do the things that your heart says to you, we love this. That's the secret. Marisay Drosy, how you going? I was winding up for the night because I've been going for about an hour and a half. There you go. You're on it, Catherine. You are on it, girl. That's great, right? I love that we can all have this conversation. This is what it's about for me, all right? 100% appreciate you, Catherine. The more of us that embrace who we are and we start to do that, the more we show that example to people around us that we care about, and we get the individuals happening, not the sheep. Let's all do the individual things that we love to do, right? Let's start to be the best version of ourselves we can be, everyone, right? And, you know, I'd love to hear comments in the future on future lives about things that you all try and do, or things that you start to do that you've always believed you're passionate about. I want to hear about them, right? I want to hear that, you know, Catherine's going to volunteer at an animal shelter. I mean, that's selfless. You're putting yourself out there to help animals that no one's helping anymore. And I love that. So, and that can lead to other things. Be open. Don't think about what might happen. Be open. Just be open and be positive. And always, everyone, I say this to everyone, be glass half full, and don't try and exactly lock in how something's going to happen. Be open and positive that this is something that you want to be involved in, and allow the universe to bring the creations to you in the way that's easiest for the universe. Because if you put a specific focus on this is how I want it, you make it very hard to actually create that. You make it harder. So you want to basically open it up so that the universe has a lot easier way to bring it in, because it'll bring it in different ways. Ariz, I respect you too, mate. You're a bloody top guy. All right. It is about that. The more of us that jump on and just go, you know what, that's what I want to do. That's going to make me feel good. Because if we are doing things in life that we just hate, you start to hate yourself. And I don't want that for anyone. Like, we're living our lives. Let's do the things that we love the idea of doing. And if it means you have to start as a hobby thing or on a Saturday, just doing something that's down the line of what you're passionate about, then at least you're starting to make connections in that area. At least you're starting to meet people that have the same passions as you. And opportunities can manifest themselves quite rapidly when you open yourself and you work from the heart, right? Work from the heart. Whew. Well, I appreciate every single one of you. I appreciate all of you. I thank you so much for tuning in and caring and getting something out of me being my authentic self. I'm not perfect. Never going to be perfect. We are all imperfect. I love just talking about life. I love having that discussion. I am an Aussie. Amy, yes, from Melbourne, Australia. I hope that everyone, and Catherine's obviously clicked with something with us tonight. Okay. Well, I hope that your health, if your health's not great, I hope it does improve. Yeah. So, like I was saying to everyone, I just I hope the world for I want the best for all of you. All right. I want the best from all of you. You're all perfect. You're all living a life. You all just want to embrace your truest you, your authentic you. Go after it. Don't let anyone get in the way, in the sense of trying to derail you from living a life that is from your heart. Right? Because if you want the greatest success and the greatest joy and you want to be the greatest example to people about you, do the things that you love to do, right? Do the things that are from you, right? That's the key, everyone. That's the key. And yes, the more passionate things that you can do for yourself, the higher your vibration will lift. And that does help in the self-healing process, Catherine. So living passionately helps you work at a much higher vibration, because blocked energy is what manifests physical ailments. So we want to lift our vibrations so the blocked energy is brought to the surface and you can acknowledge that memory or whatever it is that's creating what it's creating and let it go. Mini Jim. Funny Farm. Yes, I love that movie, man. I love that movie, right? Is that Chevy Chase, Funny Farm? Is that what we're alluding to there? Look, you've all been awesome. Remember, if you haven't subscribed, make sure you do. If you want to catch up with me on another live, I'm going to pull the pin on it now, guys, from Melbourne, Australia. Thank you so much for hanging out. You are very appreciated. I love you all. Take care of yourselves. Be as positive as you can. Remember, it's about how you react when situations happen. So be the best version of yourself when things happen, and you create the best responses for yourself, right? You choose the path you want to go down. Be the creator of your own life, right? And remember this, Craig's World rocks, so does yours. I'll see you soon, probably tomorrow, all right, around the same time. All right, take care, everyone. Be good to yourselves.